Oh, hello?
Good morning. Good morning.
Oh, there we are, there we are. Just heard you, and this thing is coming in my way. Okay, now I can see you.
All right.
Hello, Colton.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, man. Oh, okay, putting the volume up now, I can hear you much better. Yeah, definitely appreciate you coming in for episode number 8 of End to Interview EbonyKeeper, man. This is pretty awesome. How are you feeling?
Great. I appreciate you for reaching out and having me come on here. Always happy to share some things with anyone who, could use it at some point.
Yeah, we never know how another person's journey affects us, so that's a pretty big deal. And just for anybody watching, when you do watch that recording, Colton could be anywhere in the world right now, but he's here with us, so I definitely just ask that you respect his time, listen to his answers and hear his story out, right? So I love just diving straight into it. I do see the lighting is good, everything is good, and you're good to go, right?
We're great. Yeah.
Perfect. So I love it. Right. So let's just dive into it. Yeah. So you're from a small town in Wisconsin. You said a population of 2,800. What's the name of the town?
It's called Nakusa.
Nakusa. Okay.
Yes. You pronounced it right the first time. A lot of people don't. They're like Canusa, Nanusa, Nakusa. Yes. So small paper mill town. It has nothing but a small grocery store, a bank, a McDonald's, and a paper mill. And that's about it. And of course, we have our school.
Well, that's a good thing. Yeah, coming from New York to where I live now in Glenville, Georgia, the population is 3,000 here. It's been a little bit different getting used to everybody knowing each other. Once you do something, the whole town knows about it. It's a little different. Okay, so you were telling me before that, when you saw this, you're initially 19 years old, and the person who shared it with you, they did a bad job. Now, you ended up getting involved. Now, tell us about that process. Like, how did that happen?
So, really non-traditional story, which I love that this is kind of the way that it happened, just because it makes it so much simpler for someone else to get started with this compared to what I had to do. When someone showed it to me at first, the network marketing industry, this profession, our company, the person basically just didn't have any credibility, didn't really know what they were talking about yet, and I didn't believe anything they were saying. That was all it came down to. Because we're conditioned, when it looks too good to be true, it must be. And that's what I always used to think. So I actually went 6 months then. But the thing is, when you see something that is unique and seems like it could be really, really good if it was real, it doesn't leave your mind. So they say when the mind expands to a new level, it can never go back to it originally was. That's what happened to me. So 6 months go by. I wasn't enjoying my construction job. I was operating heavy equipment, and it just slapped me in the face one day. I was making a 4-hour drive from central Wisconsin to Iowa, starting at 2 a.m. to get down to my job site on time. And I went, this sucks. And it clicked in my head that I would rather try something that sounds too good to be true than to do something that sounds really true but sucks. So I actually couldn't even remember the name of the company. I had to dig for it and figure it out. And so I just looked up how to travel and get paid, how to make money traveling, all these different things. And finally it popped up, and I was like, that's what it was. So I called corporate down in Texas, told them I wanted to get started. And they said, okay, well, just get started with your sponsor. And I went, I don't know what a sponsor is. And they said, oh, okay. Because this person, I didn't even know who they were anymore that showed it to me. So they connect me with national marketing director out in Madison, Wisconsin, Akil Cooper. And he called me and gave me more in-depth information the right way. And when he did that, blew my mind. And also the fact that he was staying in Bora Bora in an over-the-water bungalow at the time that he FaceTimed me. Just right there, I was in. Whatever he was doing, I was doing it. So that's basically how I got started.
Right. Right. And I definitely appreciate your transparency. So, when we say, okay, 6 months before you saw it the wrong way, and then 6 months later you saw it the right way. For somebody who doesn't understand that, what does that mean?
Well, it actually would come down to the right time and the wrong time. I
Oh,
would I would say the person who showed it to me at first, I think other people would have got started with him, right?
okay.
But for me, I was almost at a level of being arrogant and ignorant, because I had just gotten out of high school. I landed a 25, $30 per hour job, and I was almost leading a crew already in construction, and I thought I was really cool. So I had that ITC disease. Yeah, I'm too cool.
Yeah.
And at that point, whatever this person was saying to me, I mean, the only person that at that time probably could have knocked me down was Akil or someone on that level who could
Mm,
have hit me with facts and figures and told me what was really going on. So um, it just wasn't the right time, basically. I believe you cannot, I mean, as long as you give the basic information for what we do, I don't think you can say the wrong thing to the right person
right.
for most of the time. You have to catch someone at the right timing. So whenever someone tells me no to doing this, I understand I was there. They're not ready yet. I wasn't mentally mature enough yet, I would say, um, to take on bigger tasks than just working somewhere and making decent money.
Mm.
Later on, it was when it was my choice, and I did have someone break down the facts and figures and kind of slap me in the face with life, and that's when it made sense to me.
Right. Right. That's interesting. Okay. So, and if I didn't already say, his name is Colton Bentz. Again, when he saw it, he was 19 years old at Invite Only VIP Travel Club. And then fast forward 3 years, we're getting into a bit of his story. So, yeah, let's move to the next question. So you recently made a post about the difference between linear income, passive income, and residual income. For those not familiar with these terms, how would you define them as well as speak to your experience of receiving them?
Okay. I was excited to talk about this. I was hoping the question was coming up, but um, just something related to it. So life changes drastically when you figure out what residual income is. But I'll start on the other end. Linear income, well, it's just like what we see. Math is important in school, right? Because we learn linear.
Hmm.
It's just a steady ratio. Ratio on the chart is hours worked, dollars per hour. That's it.
Hmm.
So linear income is you work a certain amount of hours, you get paid a certain amount, you restart at zero the next week, and you do it all over again forever. Maybe you get a raise over a year, 2 years, whatever it might be. Passive income, that's when things get a little bit more fun. That is money that flows through the efforts of not just you, but it flows through an organization. So I consider passive income. A lot of people, I think, mistake passive and residual for the same thing. It's not. Passive income is money that passes through others and comes to you in the form of profits from product sales or from production. Passive income is amazing. Don't get me wrong on that. That's where a lot of people stop, though. They start a business, they run a sales organization, and they just have passive income on products being sold. And then
Hmm.
there's residual income. Residual income, I call it pillow money. It's money that comes in over and over and over and over and over again based on you doing something once because you put someone into something that is a subscription or it has a monthly due or they continue to reorder. And once you get residual income that is equivalent or higher than your residual bills that we all have, you'll never be the same. I mean, when you just know, you wake up on whatever day of the month your residual income comes in and your bills are paid, no matter what, you could be in a coma and that would happen. You can never go back.
Yeah. Right. That's as perfect as an answer as I could think of. Wow. Thank you. Right. So when we talk about the two books, speeches, podcasts that you've listened to or read that have affected you the most, which ones would you say, and why?
Oh, this actually, what really I think pushed me into going all out in network marketing and doing something significant in it. It was definitely personal development. Here's how crazy it is though, and why I got into personal development. It wasn't necessarily because I started network marketing. I didn't know anything about it. But right when I started, it's weird how things work out, but right when I started, or right when the thought was going in my head that I wanted to maybe look into it again. Have you heard of the rapper called Mod Sun?
No.
Okay, well, he's a rapper, kind of a hippie rapper, right? And I listened to some of that. Well, turns out that Mod Sun, his name actually stands for, it's an acronym. It stands for Movement on Dreams, Stand Under None. Really cool. I never knew that. The only reason I learned that is because he wrote a book. It's called Did I Ever Wake Up? And it's a personal development, positive attitude book from this rapper. And I was listening to his music on YouTube, and all of a sudden this audio book that he wrote came on of him reading the audio book. And I'm doing this 3-hour drive to Iowa or whatever it was. And I listened to that book 4 times. It changed my whole perspective on life. And it got me introduced into personal development, law of attraction, power of positive thinking. So actually that audio, everyone in the world highly recommend Did I Ever Wake Up by Mod Sun. It's really crazy. He's actually based out of Minnesota, which is, across the border from where I'm at. So it was very unique. Other than that though, some of my favorite books out there: How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Amazing. I'm not much of a reader, so it's taking me a little longer. But the other things, I'm really more about commitment. So Grant Cardone, Be Obsessed or Be Average, Sell or Be Sold. 2 amazing books that get you really, really into the mindset of commitment and going all out on things. Wow. And then a phenomenal one, if you want network marketing, is 7 Steps to Becoming a Network Marketing Professional by Eric Worre. I have read the book twice. I've listened to the audiobook 4 or 5 times. And the unique thing is when you're doing something specific, like I listened to this audiobook by Eric Worre right when I got started, way back, like maybe a few weeks in. And it was great. It opened my mind to new things. And then I listened to it 6 months later. It's like a whole new book, same book, but it's like a whole new book because you perceive things differently. And then I listened to it again a year in, and then a year and a half in, and then 2.5 years in. And you hear it differently every single time. So another thing is, if you have read a good book or listened to a good audio, listen to it a year later, and it'll be completely different. You'll pick up different parts of it.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Napoleon Hill?
Yes.
Yeah, I read his book Outwitting the Devil, which was banned for you read Outwitting the Devil?
I haven't, but I've heard of it.
I definitely recommend it. It was banned for 73 years from 1938 to 2011. And, his wife, everybody was just literally terrified of the church's reaction to the book were it to be published. And finally, somebody in 2011 had it published, made a audiobook version of it. And, when I found out about it, my team, I used to live in New York. We were coming back from Brooklyn. They were dropping me off in Queens. And then my friend, literally shook in the passenger seat of the car. And he was like, guys, I listened to this book at 1 o'clock in the morning, and it was 3 hours long, and I was afraid of going to sleep because I was afraid of what I would dream of. And everybody was like, what was it called? And he was like, Outwitting the Devil. And everybody was like, nah, no, thank you, whatever. And I was the only one you need to give me this book. I'm always, I don't know, maybe because I'm an artist or whatever, whenever I find something that disrupts a person, I want to see how it disrupts me because it will make my art better, So I listened to it the moment they dropped me off. It was 1 a.m., 3 hours passed. And I literally was pissed off when the book was done because it was just it's like he's having an interview, kind of like you and I are having an interview, and he's sort of interviewing the devil, and not the devil inside of any sort of religion, but the devil as being the negative part of the atom, while God or love or whatever is the positive side of the atom. And it was just so interesting. Wow. I definitely recommend that. I've read it at least 7 times now. I've written a spoken word piece of it. Like,
Wow.
yeah, it's done a lot for me, but I definitely gotta listen to 7 Steps. I'm gonna have to like play back the recording or whatever and get everything. I'm gonna tag everything for this with the blog post so everybody can
Perfect.
easily access that. But wow, okay, so when you're talking about personal development, just diving a bit more into that, what does that mean for those who are not familiar with it?
Personal development is just the practice of becoming a better person in general. I mean, that as simple as it can be, but not in a better person like, some person that has been through personal development is a better human being than the next person. That's not what I'm saying with that, but becoming more effective in whatever it is that you want to do. So, and it doesn't matter if you're a janitor, a construction worker, a neurosurgeon, a lawyer. Personal development will affect everyone. A salesperson, it will make you better in whatever you do. It'll make you appreciate your life more. So for me, it's becoming a better communicator, a better leader, a better influencer, just more strong-minded and more confident in yourself, right? It's basically discovering yourself and then growing upon what you really are and expanding that. So I don't think anyone really changes themselves. I just think they improve what they already are. And that's what personal development really does. So endless ways to go through personal development, personal growth. I believe in audios, books, and mentorship are the biggest things. Then of course, just trying new things, self-discovery, traveling. That is a big, big part of it. Getting out and exploring. I actually, a big thing is traveling by myself some places. I mean, just going down to Florida a few days earlier than everyone else that is going there, and you just run around and do whatever and meet people by yourself. And that's how you really you go and you can be any version of yourself in a new area that you want to be. So be your most authentic self around people and discover how that really is, because everyone, it's the really interesting thing. People that do not have self-confidence, it's weird because other people view them as this great person with a lot of potential and confidence and all that. But we're a different person in so many different people's minds. Like, to me, I have my perception of myself. You have your perception of me. They're two totally different things. And then my girlfriend has a perception of me totally different than what my perception of me is. So we exist differently in the version, or our version of ourselves exists differently in every single person's mind. We're not the same in anyone's mind. So why not be confident? Why not be your most authentic self? And people already think whatever they think about you. So make them realize who you really are.
I like that. I like that, and I do like how you said "Sell or Be Sold." I literally just bought that book. It's like the next book I'm gonna be reading. Yeah, Grant Cardone is a really curious one. For those not familiar with the personality types, red, blue, green, yellow. I'll tag that into the blog post as well. But Grant is a very strong red, meaning aggressive type, and I've never really been like that. So it's astronomical for me to spend my time around reds, to read books by them, because it's just like they're different species almost. It's very hard for me to but I'm working on it.
and that's what I'm strongest in that. I actually had to adjust. I was way too strong of a red actually when I first got into business and communication. Way too strong. So I had to, I don't think you can lower a level that you're at in your personality, maybe a little bit, but you can strengthen the other parts, and they'll kind of counteract it. So, and yeah, like you were saying, people who don't know, red's super aggressive, goal driven. That's it. Nothing else matters outside of that. That's what a red is. Yellow, on the other hand, is loving, caring, wants to help everyone before themselves, and we want just the planet to be happy. And see, that was another end of things. So I'm saying if I'm super, super red, but I just work on my yellow and bring that up, well, now it counteracts the red a little bit. So that's what's helped a lot. And yeah, like you said, getting around people that have the other personality traits that are maybe different from your own, that's how you strengthen it.
Yeah.
Most of the time. I mean, yeah, sometimes you can get a little annoyed or angry at people if you don't see things the same as them, but I think just go into it with an open mind. And if you're around people that if you want to strengthen your party going blue, be around party going fun people and just open your mind and go with the flow.
Yeah. It was so interesting. Like, the first time I took the personality test, and it was like yellow, green. And then like, after a lot of personal development, after I took it after a long time, it said blue, yellow. And I was like, wow, that's so true. Like, I'm so much more willing to talk to a stranger now and have a full engaged conversation because there's so many things that we could learn from each other. Whereas before, it was just like, I don't understand people. Yeah. It was Marcus Sutter, the one who sort of like, created this color system based off Plato, who created it 1,000+ years ago. I absolutely love him. He really affected me so much with that. So I'm glad we have that to help us better understand people. But let's get on with it. So where have you traveled to so far, and how have you enjoyed our club trips?
Oh, that has been one of the most life-changing things. So people don't understand, man, until they go in and do this, like, really, not for the business, just our product. This is what I love about our company. Our product is every other company's prize, right? If you're, let's get out of network marketing. If you're in insurance sales, or if you're in car sales, or if you're in real estate sales, if you make a whole bunch of sales in the year, what do they do for you? Hey, you get to go on an all-inclusive paid-for vacation for selling $500,000 in product. So for us, that's our product. That's just what we do. So that's been life-changing. The VIP, invite-only, luxury, wholesale travel club. It's insane. We've got to go to Mexico, 4 diamond resorts, paid for in points and earnings. Dubai, stay in the world's tallest hotel, go to the Atlantis on the Palm, skydiving over Miami, Greece, sailing the Greek islands on a private yacht for 8 days for my 21st birthday. I mean,
damn.
Life-changing, like things that are just different, man. Like people they look at that and they're like, this kid from a small town isn't supposed to be doing that. So, and I'm like, me too. All right. But I'm doing it. So Paris, we saw the Eiffel Tower. Maui, Hawaii, went to the top of the volcano. And then, Dominican Republic for the 4th of July last year. I wanted to see how it was out of country. They actually celebrated harder than I think some places in our country celebrate 4th of July.
Wow.
So we had a lot of fun there. And then just all over the United States. I mean, tons and tons of places. So actually my cousin James just hopped on here to check it out, but he was in Greece with me sailing the islands. He was in Dubai with me. So this is about bringing people together, right? Bringing families and friends together. James and I are cousins, but being family, we lived in different states and we saw each other for Christmas and Thanksgiving and maybe one other time a year. And that was it. So we went from that to, he was one of the very first people I thought of bringing into business with me. He went all out right away. He's been our top producer in our team, and stuck it out the whole time. So now we went from seeing each other 1, 2, maybe 3 times a year to seeing each other all the time, every few weeks. He's lived with me. We're actually going to start living together again, I believe, to traveling to Paris, Greece, Mexico, like traveling all over the place, Dubai. So it's all about bringing people together and creating more memories with others, because that's all we really have in the end.
Wow, that's beautiful. Now, it's funny you said James. Welcome, James. James, actually, we talked yesterday, and now we're actually setting up a interview for him. And it's so interesting because he and I are both prior military, and he has a story. I can't wait to get into that, but it's just so interesting the type of complex people that you attract when you're just on a journey to become better. Now, you said something that was interesting. Right now, those who are not involved with our club, they may not understand what you said. You said that you went on a trip. I don't remember if it was, I don't think it was it Mexico, but it was like fully paid for with points and all that. What does that mean to someone who is used to using money for traveling?
Oh, well, so a paid for trip in points and earnings that we have through our club. And this can happen from a customer standpoint or a business representative. Either way, it benefits people like crazy. So imagine that, let's put it this way. Okay, you know how when Uber came out and people were like, you refer a friend to Uber and you get a $10 ride credit or $15 ride credit. Mm-hmm. Well, see, that's kind of how our club works. So, and all of a sudden you get a free ride through Uber, right? We're like, yeah, $15 ride credit. Well, okay, that's cool. With our club, it's a little more than that. So we went to Mexico, 7 days, 4 diamond resort, 2-story, 1,800 square foot suite, luxury, high end, like top of the resort, VIP, everything, paid for 100%, every single part of it. I touched my wallet 0 times on that entire trip. So just imagine booking a trip like that. You don't touch your credit card at all. You book a trip, you pay for your flight with points, you get down there, they pick you up from the airport, you go to the resort, you get expedited check-in, you stick your wallet and your passport in the safe in the room and never touch it the whole time you're in Mexico. I mean, I saved money in my monthly life by going to Mexico.
Wow. You got me hyped. You got me just been like, let's end this interview now. I want to go to
get on a trip.
I love that. I absolutely love that. Dope. Okay, now we're talking about a different level of traveling here.
By far.
Dope. By the way, where's your, after Los Angeles? I know we're doing that next week, but where's your next trip after that?
Well, I know we're going back to Mexico in August, but that's a long ways out. We're looking at Thailand, and then we're looking at also Iceland, the Northern Lights tour of Iceland. So this is stuff that, here's what's cool about our club. A lot of these places that I've gone to now or we've been at, I never really thought of going to or doing the stuff that we did on these trips. So they put all this stuff, they put all these experiences together for you, and you just are scrolling through like a menu. You know, you go to a restaurant, you don't really know what you want to eat yet, but you just kind of go through the menu and you're like, wow, that looks really good. And so you order it and you go and do it. Like sailing the Greek islands on a yacht. Who would have thought of that? Like, I was 20 years old. I was like, this not even ever crossed my mind. But I'm scrolling through these trips and I'm like, sailing the Greek islands on a private yacht. Well, that looks fun. So you just get these so like the Iceland trip that we want to go on, it's 8 days long. It's a tour of the entire outer circle of Iceland with Northern Lights tour, Blue Lagoon, like all these different things. And you go from hotel to hotel, hop on a coach bus and travel around the entire circumference of the island. I would never think of that myself.
Yeah, what the hell?
So, but those are some of the, I know we'll be most likely in Miami in July for one of our events. So that'll be awesome. But there's just a bunch. It's weird. It just kind of goes by like, well, it doesn't even feel like this happens, but I know that we take like 10 to 12 trips every year. It doesn't feel like it, but it's just kind of natural now. Just we're traveling at least every 8 weeks to somewhere cool.
I love that. It's so interesting. Like when you were talking about, when you were initially got involved and, you were arrogant and everything like that, and you had to build up your yellow in order to deal with people and not like, like for me, exactly. For me, how that matriculated was like, I was so down for everything. But, when there was like, let's go on dream trips and everything like that, I was like, I'll pay attention to the money. Everybody else, they go on a trip, whatever. I'm good to get paid because I've been, selling candy ever since I was like 15 years. When I was 15 years old, I was like selling candy, and that was my first experience doing entrepreneurship. And just coming back from working on a dairy farm, like, when they literally killed me every day from like 6 a.m. to like 5 p.m. and then going over and selling candy, making like $30 more of profit, $660 where I made $630 at the farm. And just comparing that really caused the epiphany for me of, having a business to working for someone, so it's really been talking to people like you where it's like, okay, I really should book a dream check.
Yes. Yes.
It's really funny. But yeah, I'm glad you shared that. So, okay. Would you say network marketing is for some people or for everyone, and why?
Well, it depends on what you want someone or you see someone doing with it. I think it is for everyone in some aspects. But see, this is what people don't understand. I think a lot of times from the outside looking in is that someone like myself decided to really go after it and really, really do it. Like, really do it. But network marketing is not designed to be a full-time, hard-charging, get-rich overnight business like people think. That's not what it's made for. It's meant for the single mom that wants to make $500 extra a month to counter daycare. It's for the busy doctor that wants to offset his taxes. It's for someone who is working construction on the road that would like to cut down to part-time and make an extra $1,500 or $2,000 a month in this industry on the side. So it's really meant for someone to do something extra, make a little extra money, have a little extra personal development, maybe be able to take one more vacation a year. That's what it's designed for. But then you have other people, of course, that go hard at it and they really want to make it big. So I believe it's for everyone because there's every aspect. I don't care what you do, where you come from, where you're at, how your personality is. There's something that can benefit you in some way, and it will make itself worth it if you use it. But then there's other people who, if you're in business for yourself or you're a really hard charging person that maybe hasn't found their niche yet, just stick a few years of consistent long-term vision and effort into network marketing and see what happens. I mean, who knows? Go to events, go to training, read books, and go after it. Why not? It's an extra. You do it on the side of the job you hate. Just do it. Like, what else are you gonna do with your free time? Watch TV? All right.
Exactly. Now, I love that response. Now, you said training, right? And now I've talked about somebody by the name of Mark Asada, who, for those who don't know that, he is the director of training for everybody in our company. He's trained all of them, and ever since 2005. Now, you said training. For a person who doesn't understand training, they understand college training, for their degree. They understand job training, working out training, network marketing training. Why do we need to go on training? What would you say to that? What is training?
Okay, this is not for the person that wants to dabble in it and do a little extra thing, right? It's for someone who actually wants to make something out of it. So how do you play first string, like first round pick in college football at a D1 school if you never go to practice? It's the same thing. See, it's the same thing in network marketing. Like, you have a coach. That's our mentors. That's our uplines. That's our leaders. That's our founder. That's people that are in the company that have already done it. They've already been there. They've already been through everything. So sure, you can muscle your way and trial and error your way through network marketing and just mess it up all over and over until you finally figure it out 10 years down the road. You can do that, or go somewhere where all these people already have been through that and just listen to them and be coachable and go to training. There's endless amounts of it available for people. I mean, I don't get it. I've never, in my 2 years and 9 months doing this, I have never, ever missed a training event of any kind, ever. I don't know how many that comes out to, but I know it's over 40. And here's the other thing. When there's training events for network marketing, people have I mean, if you have the job mentality, you go, well, why isn't this just provided for me? Why isn't it just given to me?
Right.
Why do I have to pay for this?
Right.
Well, we're independent business owners in our own organization. Why should anyone have to pay for your tools and your training for your business? It's yours. It's a tax write-off. If you're running a business and it's business training, it's tax write-off. There you go. It's paid for, essentially, when your taxes come out. So it's like we have a training coming up in Los Angeles soon. It's $150 for a 2.5-day sold out arena for training by some of the best in the world. I believe the best in the world. $150 to learn from millionaires. People spend that on like the same weekend we're in LA, Coachella is going on.
What is that?
It is a massive music festival.
Oh.
So Coachella, huge international music festival. People come from all over the world to it. They will spend well over that amount of money to go to a music festival. But you won't do it for your own future and training to learn from millionaires? Like, or let's go to college. If you spend more than that on one textbook that you use for a couple weeks, but it's a loan, so you don't see it until you have to actually pay that loan back, right? Like for most people, so it's no big deal. Put it on a credit card then. Put the training on a credit card. Like make it happen. I just believe that I don't think there is any possible way. There just is no possible way to build a large organization and a large income in network marketing without training. It will not happen. So, and I just, it's okay if I'm honest, right? I don't want to scare.
Yeah.
I don't want to scare people, but like, there's no way that you'll build a large organization because you can't work with everyone individually that comes into your team. When it gets to hundreds or thousands, you can't train everyone individually. So you need a system. The training is the system. If you get nothing else from that, you just want, like, we just want our team to be system driven, which is training. So I know that when my team brings people into our company and they want to become reps and build a business, they just know training. The next training you go to, I don't have to tell you that. See, because if I have hundreds or thousands of people in my organization, I can't individually message every single person, hey, you got to go to the, no, like, I expect the team to contribute to that and start duplicating it, because then it takes the weight off of our shoulders as leaders and it puts it into the system. And it makes it so much simpler. It's duplicable then. You can, that's really the only way to do it, because now you bring tens, hundreds, thousands of people to one setting where they all get trained by the best of the best. Nothing better than that. So that is, I mean, training is so important. If you want to build a business, you need training. Just, I will forever preach that to everyone. There's no way around it. If you want to shortcut things, can't. You have to go to training.
Exactly. I remember my first training. It was with this, they were called the Rat Pack, and I remember meeting this lady. She was pregnant and she was already making a good deal of residual income with our business. And just hearing her story everywhere she's traveled, knowing that the baby is going to literally be born, already retired. It was crazy. It was so crazy. That just, it hit me, all the people I met and everything like that. It's so interesting, the stories, but right. On to the next one. Yeah. So what were the obstacles that most affected you along your journey? What could have taken you out?
Well, being at a young age, you just mentioned the Rat Pack, right? So a team within our company that stands for retired at 20. They dealt with similar issues. And the first thing that takes out a young person is their parents' opinion. Insane, ridiculous to me, but their parents' opinion. I don't care. Like, most people's parents that they go to with this idea when they first get started and their parents knock them down, most of the time, 99 out of 100, the parents that knock them down are not wealthy, retired, well-off parents. Like, it's just not. It's people that maybe are in their 40s, 50s, that are still working a job they dislike, and they tell their kid, nope, this is a scam, it's fake, don't do this, you're gonna lose all your money, you're gonna get kidnapped, whatever they say. And that knocks someone out of the game. Like, you're gonna, first off, parents that are listening to this, don't limit your children. Like, let them discover it for themselves. I mean, you know, trial and error. I believe as soon as a parent interferes and steps in with maybe their 18, 19, 20-year-old son or daughter, you're messing up their life, because they're gonna be dependent on you for decisions, and that's wrong. So I believe in allowing your kids, and this is coming from a 22-year-old now, but allow your kid. I've done it. I've messed up. Like, let your kids mess up. And I'm not relating this to network marketing, because network marketing is not messing up. Like, you're getting yourself into something good, but let them go mess up in some way that, like, you know, people are scared. I get it, but let them go through the hard breakup, or the friends breaking apart, or the failing a class. Like, see what happens and see if they learn from it. But anyway, back to the point, the obstacles. So it the first thing is people's opinions. That will knock people that are like, but I understand it because I was there. I was ignorant and against it. I didn't understand it, and so I get it. People are ignorant and people don't want to learn. So it never affected me at all. I mean, there's always that back end emotion that's just natural for a human being, but if someone isn't willing to even listen to what I have to say, or learn, or educate themselves, or read a book, or read anything real, they base their entire mindset on our industry off a blog. Like, I will not get offended if you tell me that I'm stupid and this is fake, because you have no idea. You're talking to the wall. Like, it doesn't matter. Right? So, and I've been there. So many obstacles. I mean, I've been through whatever you can bring up, probably. People posting on my public Facebook page a false article, false allegations. I've had people come to opportunity meetings just to be there to annoy us and tell people not to come into the room. I've had people comment on posts while I'm on a trip saying that this is fake. While I'm on a trip. That, all right, I promise you I'm not that good at photoshopping. Like, or those are some of the biggest ones. I mean, if you can, the thing that knocks people out of this, there's nothing else that knocks someone out of this, because if you get started, you have a vision and you're excited. The only thing that will knock you out of the game is someone else coming in and cutting that vision and be like, nope, you're stupid, this is a scam, it's one of those pyramid things, like, go away or run away, they're gonna take all your money. First of all, it's not even possible for that to happen. You can't lose money like that in this unless you go blow it on trying to book 12 trips or something. Like, you can't. There's no other way to blow all your money or go in the hole or go into tens of thousands of dollars of debt. It's not possible. It's you can't. So that's what knocks people out of the game. Is the number one obstacle is other people's opinions on what you do. And it's funny because, like, you know, I've seen this post a bunch. Woohoo, got a new job, $10 an hour, 112 likes, 48 congratulation comments, and 5 shares and a bunch of messages saying good job. $10 an hour, cool. And then you go, and I don't recommend doing this ever. Like, don't burst the bubble, basically. But when someone's like, just started this company, I'm starting my own franchise style business, no one cares. You get into a business for yourself where you can build it into you have the potential of building it into a multi-million-dollar income, becoming a world leader, traveling the world, speaking on stages, tens of thousands of people. That's potential in our industry. People go, oh, you're stupid, that's dumb, sounds like a scam, no likes, people actually share to discredit your post. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But that's what people do because we're conditioned, and it seems too good to be true. So it must be. So our natural reaction is, well, I should help this person get out of this before they ruin their life. Like, and that's what people do. So my biggest advice for that is, if you have negativity, skepticism, people coming at you with, false allegations or whatever it might be, and you don't know if they're false allegations when you first start, I get that, but have faith in it. You see people before you that are having success and they've done what they say is happening in the company, and you've seen that viable success. It's real. Other people are doing it. And you have someone that comes at you with that, just let it bounce off you. They're ignorant. They don't understand. They're scared. It's okay. They'll understand later, but you just have to prove it to
them. Right. Absolutely agree with everything you said. Now, when you said pyramid, and when people are saying, oh, that's a pyramid scheme and everything like that. I know we have people who, they go to Egypt, they go to one of our dream trips in Egypt, and like, if this is a pyramid, then I'm the pharaoh of the pyramid or something like that. Because, at a certain point you just stop caring. But regarding that objection of pyramid, what would you speak to that? How would you say, oh, is this a pyramid? How would you respond to that?
Yeah, absolutely. Best one I've ever seen. And it's legal. Like, when someone says pyramid, it's either, there's two options. One, they're ignorant, have no clue what that even means. It's just a word they heard their grandma say back in the day, and they throw it out there because they see a triangle, and that's how the compensation works. Dumbest thing. Like, so my response really, if I sense that, is, what do you mean by that? See, but most people, when they say it, they're not like coming at you aggressively. I don't think. Some people do, and that's okay. They don't know what they're talking about. But most of the time, they just are throwing a word out there. They have no clue what it means. And sometimes we de-edify ourselves by blasting someone who says that, because they don't even know what they're talking about. And they're just throwing a word out there. Maybe it's not even negative. They're just saying, is this pyramid thing? And they're saying it just like, what? Curious. And some people are like, no, excuse me, doing something illegal, like the Boy Scouts, like the government. You mean like your job, that kind of pyramid? Like, don't do that. That's how I used to be when I, super red. I would just like want to drop kick someone. But that I just like, there's two options. One is the ignorant part, right? They have no clue what they're talking about. They're just throwing a word out there they heard their grandma say. The other option is someone saying it positively, because wealthy people understand that. See, I've had plenty of people that are successful. They own businesses, they operate and own real estate companies and or a large business, or they're serial entrepreneurs. They go, oh, this is really cool. It's like one of those pyramid things. Yeah. Pyramid marketing, pyramid sales, whatever they want to call it. And the people that are wealthy, they are like saying that in a good way. Like, oh, this is genius. Like the pyramid system, right? Yeah. Wow. And the thing with that is, now I'll just go into that really quick. Mm-hmm. A pyramid scheme, there is such a thing as an illegal pyramid scheme. There's a thing. It's illegal, like highly illegal, by the Federal Trade Commission. They're not around. They don't stick around. Like, a pyramid scheme just means that you are recruiting recruiters for the purpose of recruiting recruiters for profit. There's no product. There's no company. It's just money. That's it. Mm-hmm. There's no system. There's nothing. It's just, you give me $20, and then if you get someone else to give you $20, well, I'm going to get $5 of that, and we'll just keep the chain letter going forever. That doesn't work, right? It's not a business. That's just a money scheme. That's what it is. Simplest way. Network marketing is just worked in a multi-level passive commission form, just like anything else in the world. It's just, you can actually see it here. You can actually see how the money flows. In corporate, you just can't see the structural organization of how the money flows. Mm. This one you can, which makes it fair for everyone. And so it's the basis of product being sold in multiple levels of an organization, and the money flows up from a product sale. And that's network marketing. So it's really simple. No product, all based on recruiting recruiters and money that might be illegal. It's not going to last more than a year or two because they'll shut it down. Network marketing, there has to be a product of value, standalone value, that they have customers. If there's that, it's a legit viable company.
Love that. And yeah, baby, we have been in for 13 years, so you already know.
Right. See, this is what I love. Like, we, in our business presentation, we show you a picture of our 100,000 square foot corporate headquarters that's 4 stories tall in the middle of Dallas, Texas. When something is operating illegally, they don't set that up. They don't set up a place that has the name of our company on it that you can find them, right? An illegal operation is someone popping out of their garage with like computers in the backs and they're running a system. They don't have a 100,000 square foot office with 1,000 employees in it that you can look up on Google Maps and see it. And I've been there. I've been through our corporate headquarters a few times. So, I mean, 13 years in business, multiple billions of sales, 40 countries in operation, 40 plus. Yeah, we're good. We're here to stay.
That was music to my ears. So what would you say to an amateur network marketer and a professional network marketer? What is the difference between those two things?
Training. It's the study of it. What's the difference between a little league baseball player and a MLB player? It's just effort, time put in, training. Becoming a professional means that you make it more of your life rather than just a hobby. See, I think the other difference is amateurs play around with it. They're not serious. They don't, it's not what revolves around their daily living. It's just an extra thing. It's like you got bowling league on Wednesday nights, right? You're not a professional bowler. You're an amateur. You got bowling league on Wednesday nights. That's how people treat their business when they're amateurs. They're like, oh, we got a trout. We got a, opportunity meeting Tuesday nights, and that's all they do. Amateur, right? You'll never grow an income doing that. Professional, it's your lifestyle. Say like a professional reads pages of a book before they go to bed, plays audios in their car. They show someone the opportunity every single day. Everyone they come across, they're prospecting, or in some way building relationships, establishing credibility. It's all that they're doing all the time, and it's just your life. See, that's the master in the art of living cannot tell the difference between work and play, and that's how a network marketer becomes good, really good. So when you're just going, see, this is how I explain to people that it's how my life goes. I don't know the difference of whether I am working or having fun. There is no difference. It's just life. Everyday life is all the same. It just, people are like, what kind of hours do you work? I don't know. There is no hours. I'm 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365, always on, always off. It's whatever I want to do. But in the back of my mind, I'm always thinking of some way to grow my business and improve people and help other people in my business expand and grow. So there is no difference. It's like people have we're conditioned to have this mentality of an 8-10 hour work day. And when you're off of work is not on your mind at all. You go turn on the TV, you go drink, you go have fun, you go to a party, whatever you do, you play games on your phone, scroll through social media. Work is not on your mind. But when you're at work, most people are spiteful. They don't like it. It's not enjoyable. Transition that. Here, you're always 24/7, always thinking about your work, but it's not really work. Like that's the difference. When I made my first $200 to $2,500 a month in network marketing, it was not very far into it. It was quick. And it doesn't, that's the thing. That doesn't always sustain. That might be a good month. You had a bunch of people come in. But when I first had that, I had to look back. And I'm like, what did I do this month to make $2,500 on the side of a job? I had 2 meetings a week where I talked about travel and fun and making memories. And I expanded a group. And then later on, when we made like run to another rank, it was like a full-time income then $3,500 to $4,000 a month. And I had to look back on that. And I'm like, what did I do this month to make $4,000 in my own business? A lot of it passively. I had 2 or 3 meetings a week with groups of people talking about my travel experiences, having fun, having a beer. Like, to make compare that now, in construction, I was making about $3,800 a month, busting my ass, working every day, 12, 14-hour days. That's what I did there to make $3,800 a month. In network marketing, now it's not like it's easy by any means, but it's simple. I'm not doing anything that gives me blisters here. I mean, so much different. So once you do that, becoming a professional just means you're all in. Like, everyone's got their obsession, right? Everyone's got some sort of addiction to something.
Right.
Everyone, I believe everyone has an addiction to something. Most people these days are addicted to social media, which is destructive. And you can do something on your phone. If you go into your settings and go to apps and you look at usage, you can see how many hours a day you spend on certain apps. People have hours on Facebook, hours on Instagram, hours on Snapchat, hours of their day on that, because you get one notification that pops up and you got to go see it. And I'm this way too a little bit. I'm conscious of it, at least, but I do that when a notification pops up. Oh, let's see what it is right away. And people do that. So if you just change your obsession, like, some people are addicted to, well, they can be all working out, which is that's a pretty good habit to be addicted to, I think. Some people are addicted to going out to meet people at parties. They're addicted to partying. They're addicted to likes on social media. Some people are addicted to drugs. That's the other end of things. But everyone has some kind of thing that's on their mind. Some people are addicted to other people's opinions of them all the time, and that's a horrible way to live, I think. When you're always trying to think of, like, oh, this person won't like me if I do this, or this person's not gonna be my friend because I'm gonna say this, and they don't say it or do it, then they're afraid. That's rough. So, and I don't know what goes through people's head all the time, but if you just transition that into something proactive in your business that can grow, and you're just addicted to expanding your mind and your business and your income and your customer base and your impact on people, and that's what you become addicted to, that's what happened to me. I would say I brainwashed myself intentionally. Like, people look at brainwashing because it's been done by, like, militaries before to change people in a bad way. Brainwashing. Throw that away. Like, don't think about that when you hear brainwashing. Like, brainwashing is good if you want to do it intentionally. And that's what I did. Like, do you wash your clothes?
Yeah.
All right. Why?
Because it's gonna be dirty.
Okay. Why not wash your brain? It gets dirty. Like, bad, negative, horrible things are put into our brains every day by social media, by the news, by other people, every day. Why don't you wash that like you would your clothes? Or do you shower? Like, all of that, same thing. Your mind gets filthy. I'm not saying that in like a dirty, but I'm saying it just like, and that too, it does, but it gets dirty with negative thoughts, negative reactions, negative posts, negative news. Why not wash it? Brainwash yourself into thinking more positively.
Right. I absolutely love that. And into that, actually, what are your daily habits? Would you say, how you wake up, how you go to sleep? Do you meditate? What is meditation? Like, what would you say your daily habits are?
Meditation is something I've dabbled in a little bit. I think it's a great thing to do for someone. It can enlighten you. I mean, becoming more one with yourself and discovering your mind more. If you can control your thoughts, you can control your life. Meditation is just that. It's controlling your thoughts, right? So, and not even controlling them, it's actually releasing them.
Yeah.
Where if you can think nothing, you're in ultimate control of your thoughts then.
Mm.
So there's always some conversation going on in your mind at all times.
Right.
But if you can just shut that off and be completely in control of it, that is amazing. So with that being said, the whole brainwashing thing, right? I always, every day, listen to some form of audios on personal development or training in network marketing or something specific every day. No, every single day, no matter what. And that's where I come back to the obsession. Like, how hard is that to put on a 20-minute audio while you're driving to work or while you're driving to the gas station or while you're sitting at home doing nothing? Why not? Even if you're not consciously listening to something, your unconscious brain is picking up everything around you. So if you have an audio playing and you're not really paying attention to it, but you just have it on all the time, it's still impacting you, believe me. So I do that every single day. I try my best to read 15, 20 pages of a good book every day. Right now I'm on How to Build Network Marketing Leaders by, I'll think of his name, I'll come back to it, but very, very good book. So reading, personal development, but all that stuff is not income producing activity. So what you want to do then, what I do on a daily basis, is I'm always consciously reaching out to new people all the time, and following up with people that I used to talk to or I have talked to in the past. Just every day I make sure that, and this is back to the obsession thing, I feel like I'm wasting time if I'm not doing that, something productive towards what we're doing, because I'm not where I want to be yet at all by any means. So why would I waste time doing anything else? Like, or even if you want to, maybe you're a sports fan and the game was on, or the race, or whatever it was that you watch, you can put that on. I'm not saying don't like disregard everything fun in your life. You can still do all that stuff, but be proactive while you're doing it still. Like, there's commercials, there's off times when you're watching sports or something like that. I do believe throwing out television, like normal TV shows, yeah, I think that's a good plan. But if you're into, you got your favorite sports team, you want to see how they're doing, that's cool. You can follow them. That's fine. But reach out, like, you're sitting there watching a game that, I promise, if you're not paying attention to that game the whole time, the quarterback is not going to miss his throw because of you. Like that, you're not making a difference to them at all. They don't care if you're watching or not, I promise.
They're still getting paid.
Yeah. It will not make a difference if you watch the game or not. But if you really want to do it, reach out to people while you're doing that. You can still talk to people. You can be messaging and watching something at the same time-ish, kind of, right? So just do that. But yeah, daily activities is I make sure that I do at least 1 or 2 presentations of our opportunity every single day. At least one every day. My goal is always 3 to 5, but at least one a day. And I feel at least I know I did something. If you don't do that, it's like, imagine owning a sub shop, or let's say you own a donut shop, and if you don't do a presentation for your opportunity every day in your network marketing business, that would just be like your donut shop, the doors are locked. No one can come in. That's just how it works. So why would you do that? You wouldn't. Your business would go out of business.
Yeah.
Now, thankfully, our overhead in network marketing is very, very small. But imagine if you were paying $5,000 a month to operate your network marketing business. Would you still take days off and not show anyone? Probably not. But since we spend $20, $50, $100 a month to operate our business, we're like, it's fine. Let's take the day away. You wouldn't just imagine you're spending $5,000 or $10,000 a month to operate your business like a traditional business would cost you. You wouldn't lock your doors. You keep it open, right? So that's showing people the opportunity. Just make sure that's as simple as it can get. Personal development, read some pages of a book every day, show someone your opportunity every day. If you do those 3 things on a daily basis, you're going to excel.
Definitely. I love your simple approach to it. Absolutely. Now I don't want to keep you for too long, but we're about to, get to the wrapping up of it. Like, the book I'm reading right now, it's called I Dare You by Fraser Books. You know Fraser?
No, I'm not familiar.
He's probably like one of the best attraction marketers in the network marketing industry that I've ever heard of. And like because he's a really strong, like, introvert, and he got into it because at 18 years old, because his parents, they were network marketers, and they were, how do you say, the big earners, but they did it the old way of, like, doing the business and the presentations in the, what is this word, living room in English. And Fraser had, he was a very strong introvert, so he didn't exactly like their way, so he started doing it his own way. And now he has, like, 400,000 people in his team and everything like that, and he's just a delightful person, does lives almost every single day, and he's quite curious. You doing okay over here?
Oh yeah, we're good.
Okay,
I was just adjusting a couple things here.
I got you. Yeah.
Start my car to plug my phone in, so just making
sense.
sure my audio would stay good.
Right. Now, and Fraser literally just published this book, like, I think this past month, called I Dare You. And he just provides a lot of free material to people, which has pretty been, how do you say, useful, even into Eric Worre, which was a really dope interview. But I definitely recommend him. But let's see.
Okay.
If you were to get a sign on, or an advertisement on the internet, or a sign on, freeway traffic, right? People are driving very fast, how do you say, fast past this ad, or the sign, or the sign, the ad on the internet. Yeah. My English keeps messing. But
Okay.
what would you put on that sign in order to, send a message to people, or, whatever it is, you could choose?
Well, I've done this. It's not in network marketing. See, I wouldn't. So I think people go out of their way to try and simplify or cut corners in this business, and I've done this stuff before. I've tried travel and get paid beachside, just stuff that people are like, huh. But I think you're putting out a false perception doing stuff like that. See, network marketing, the point of it is to have personal interaction with people, and that's how we market our products and get products out to people. So whenever, and I was just talking to someone about this the other day, they're like, how do I advertise my business? You don't. If we could advertise it, the company doesn't need us. Like, the biggest thing when someone goes, what do I post on Facebook to get people curious and asking me and wanting to join my business? You don't. You go enjoy your life, put positive things out there, attract people to you for you as a person, not for your business, but you as a person. And that's how you'll grow it. Because if we could just put stuff out on Facebook and advertise and run billboards and whatever, flyers, and you could do that, the company doesn't need us for anything then. They could do that. They could have a marketing team in the corporate headquarters that does all that stuff, puts it out there, and builds the company. That would defeat the purpose of direct sales network marketing. So I don't. My biggest thing is that you don't need to go out and try and sell or sign up or recruit tons and tons and tons of people yourself. The whole point of it is you meet someone, one person, and in network marketing, all we're trying to do is meet one other person through that person, and then meet one other person through that person, and meet one other person through that person, until we find someone as driven or more driven than us that goes and takes it off. And now you have a lineage organization that's growing with or without you. And that's the goal on this. And then you go do it again. And you can just do that by meeting one by one by one. And if no one wants to go that slow, right? It's slow to do it that way, but not really. It's slow in the beginning, maybe, because it's not compounding yet. But so in the start, everyone's like, well, I want to sign up 500 people as fast as possible. All right, start with 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, just start with 1 or 2 or 3, 4. And this is how we build our business. It's just going through people, digging ditches, running through a line. Like, have you ever played the game of telephone?
Yeah.
Okay. Telephone is like, you have a circle, right, of people, and one person starts something and they pass it on to the next person one by one. And it goes around, but usually in telephone, the time it gets back to you, it's all messed up. Well, this is going back to training. If you play, this is like the game of telephone. You just go one by one, but you need a system involved. So imagine in the game of telephone, you're not speaking it to someone. You have recorded audio that you pass to the next person. They listen to it, and then they pass it to the next person. And it's the same exact thing that everyone hears around the whole circle. It comes back to you, and it's the same now when it comes back to you. Mm-hmm. That's what we're doing in network marketing. We're playing games of telephone with multiple lines of people.
Right.
And so if we go to training, we start it off one, and one can become 10, can become 100, can become 1,000. And I've seen this happen. Most of the time when my organization explodes and grows very, very quickly, I put in one person personally, and it turns into 100 because you duplicate that. Everyone, I don't care who it is, everyone can bring in one other person to our customer base.
Mm-hmm.
So make it simple. Don't try and be the sales guy that brings in 400 customers in the first year by themselves. Yeah, that'll never duplicate. No one else can do that. So be the guy that brings in one and digs through that person and keeps getting one until you find a leader that does it better than you. That's how we advertise and bring our business to massive numbers, is by just digging through people's contacts. That's the whole point. That's what networking is, right? It's meeting new people and networking through them to meet other people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was good stuff. Thank you. Now, every single episode that I do, I get a look at the person's life, their personality, and stuff like that, and I look for something that I feel like sort of, to me, represents their energy, and then I share it at the end of the episode. So the one that I found for you is by one of my favorite poets, Osho. It goes, oh, here it is. I love to disturb people because only by disturbing them you can make them think. They've stopped thinking for centuries. Nobody has been there to disturb them. People have been consoling them. I'm not going to console anybody because the more you console them, the more retarded they remain. Shock them, hit them hard, give them challenge. That challenge will bring their full capacities to the climax. And that was the one that sort of came to mind when I, was considering you and, how this interview would go.
I like that.
Thank you. I'm glad you appreciate it. Now, since we're getting to the close, if there's anything you feel like we did not cover, or if there's something that's on your heart that you just feel like saying, you have the floor.
Awesome. I appreciate everything. That poem was. I want to go off that really quick. So, piercing people's minds is. See, I'm not in this necessarily for the money. The money's good, right? You can grow the money. That's cool. I'm in this because I'm passionate about freedom and expanding the minds of other people. And this is the best platform to do that. See, if you're you can make a bunch of money anywhere. I've sold insurance before. I could go sell cars. I could go start a traditional business or go into business with my family, and I could make a bunch of money. But I wouldn't be passionate about that, and I wouldn't necessarily be positively impacting very many people doing that. You can make a lot of money. Cool. But if your only goal is money, you'll never be satisfied. There's always someone doing better than you. There's always more money to be made.
Right.
And that can always fluctuate. It's not a legacy. So going in and changing the way that people think a little bit, that'll turn into a lot of change, hopefully. It is a big deal to me. So money's cool. Money's the tool. You get to use it for things. And the best thing I've heard is that a lot of people, or sometimes people, use people and love money. That's crooked. I think that's how people view salespeople a lot of times, and why they're so against selling and all this. Like, sales is a horrible voodoo word. You're not supposed to, people get afraid of it. But when you're doing sales right, or you're doing marketing right, or you're building a business right, you use money and love people. And that's how we grow a large organization in anything that we do. Use money, love people. As that gets bigger and you create a system around that, people start appreciating that, and that's how you're seen. So that's how I would like to be seen by people, is that I help. If I just have one person at the end of the day or the end of the week or end of the year say, thank you, this is what happened to my life because you brought this idea to me, or because you said this to me. That is the best feeling, I think, of anything in the world. Better than hitting a bonus, better than going on a trip, better than winning something, better than hitting a rank, is when someone says, thank you, this is how this impacted me. And I've seen that a whole bunch of ways, and it's made it so that you can knock me out of this. No one will ever say anything to me that'll knock me out of this. It won't happen because of the impact I've seen. And it's only going to get stronger, better, and bigger. My cousin who's on here, he earns residual income because this idea was brought to him. Life will never be the same because he's created a flow of residual income. How many people can say they're in their 20s and earn a residual check? Not very many. See, or if you get to the level like where we've achieved, right? I've worked in retirement planning, and I want to expand on that quick. I've worked in retirement planning, insurance sales, Medicare, financial accounts, and the average person after 65 in retirement lives for the rest of their life on about $1,100 per month. In America, one of the wealthiest countries in the world, $1,100 a month, working good jobs. I mean, these are people that were nurses, doctors, real estate people, factory leaders, like people that did well in a career. They worked for 38, 40, 45 years. And they live on $1,100 a month for the rest of their life. And they can't do anything about that. Like, when you're in your upper 60s, when you're in your 70s, you can't do anything anymore to change that. You're maybe torn down, broken down, can't work anymore, can't actively do things. And there's always ways, but I believe that certain people that I've seen and gone to consult, they can't do anything about it. They physically cannot anymore. We're young. We have our life to go and do something. Why would you play small? Why would you not dream? Why would you not go out and really chase after a passion and turn it into an income and turn it into an impact and become someone that creates a legacy? So you don't have that anymore. And so this industry, it allows someone like myself, this profession, I don't like calling it even an industry. An industry is like travel. We're in travel. That's an industry. Network marketing, though, is a profession. It's a true profession. It's a way of life. And so in this profession, we can create something from whatever age we are that can be our retirement. So what grinds my gears, like what really makes me just red in the face, when people ask me, what kind of benefits do you get from this? What are the benefits of working in a business like this? Like, because the job mentality, 401k, pension, retirement plan, insurance. You own a business here. What is my benefits? What do you have a 401k? Why do I need one? I have residual income. Like, you understand that today, when I'm 22 years old, I created this when I just had turned 21. I earn a residual income that comes in every month, no matter what, that is equivalent to the average person's Social Security check at that $1,100 to $1,400 a month. Why do I need a 401k? Like, isn't the goal of a 401k to save up enough money so you can take deposits out of that when you're older that are equivalent to 1, 2, 3,000 a month? Why do I need that? I mean, there's other places to put your money, right, that are secure, and you can use it for emergencies or extra things, or maybe you need extra money in retirement. But when you change your mentality, pensions, 401ks, social security income, that stuff is irrelevant. Like, that's for an employee to finally stop working someday after they've saved enough money and set enough money aside. But something like a 401k, that runs out eventually. That's not unlimited. It's however much money you put in there, that's how much you can take out. And it grows a little bit over time, a little bit. But it's like, why don't you create a reoccurring, manageable, growing income that comes in like that income would? Why not build something that you own that pays over and over and over and over again and can grow exponentially, that you can pass on to your family, to your kids someday, to your grandkids? Why not create something like, what can you do with a pension? That you can't pass a pension on to someone. You can transfer a 401k maybe, after the tax implications come out on that usually. And I'm not going to make any claims here because I'm not someone that does taxes for people, but you're wasting a lot of it then. Why not create something like this that you can build something that's reoccurring, sustainable, long-term, that you can pass on to people off a customer base, something that you own, that you can transfer, will, sell. Why not create that? Even if you stay working, like you keep at it at your job, you do your 40 years or whatever, 50 years at a job, and you do contribute to your 401k, you do contribute to Social Security, you do all the normal stuff that you're supposed to do. But why not build something on the side still in your spare time in network marketing where you can have that in your retirement that you can pass on, that someone else can continue to build after you're gone? That's a legacy. Now, I don't care if you do that for 10, 20, 30, 40 years and you build a network marketing business on the side of your career. Why not do that? It's a little extra effort, 5, 10 hours a week you put into something that can potentially free your life forever. Like, what if that takes you 25 years to do? Isn't that a better plan than most people have? For me, it took me a year and a half to get to that point where I didn't have to work a full-time job anymore. Like, but what if it took me 10 years? Better plan than I had. What if it took me 25, 30 years? Better plan than I had. What if it takes you all 40 years, like it normally would at a job, to make a 6-figure residual income? Better plan than you had, most likely. Why not do it? Like, why not just stick it out? Go. You're gonna meet thousands of people going through life. Why not proactively meet people and monetize it with those people that you meet? Help them do something significant in their life too. Why not do that? Just turn your lifestyle into a lifestyle that you get paid doing. So that's one of the last things. And I just, to kind of end that, again, it comes back to being a little bit obsessive over something that's productive. And we just have to do that. No one, or very, very few, I can't say no one, I can't general, but very, very few people are passionate about what they do every day. They don't enjoy it. They don't like it. They come home and complain to their spouse or significant other, which then again puts stress on people. They don't make the amount of money that they're worth, but they do it willingly for years on end. Why not have something that you can be passionate about and have fun doing? Like, what's the harm in that? And you just take away time from watching TV or going out to the bar, going to parties or whatever it might be. Like, why not just do that and make it something for yourself? So when you, it's crazy. People will put in so much time and effort and concern for this thing that they hate, their job. I'm not saying all jobs are bad and everyone hates their job, because not everyone does, but most people do not like what they do on a daily basis. So, but you'll willingly go there 40, 50, 60 hours a week, do it, make your measly paycheck at the end of that week, and do it all over again next week and next month and next year and 10 years down the road. And you'll keep on doing that with little to no hope of ever getting out and excelling after that from what you're doing. Look at things with the end in mind. With the end in mind. When you don't, most people don't do that. See, they think about the weekend. That's their end in mind. But then you got to go back on Monday or whatever your weekend might be. Maybe someone has Tuesday, Wednesday off. That's their weekend. Cool. Now you don't even have your weekends when most other people have their weekends, and you can't do anything fun. Like, so why not think, actually, we're human beings. We have the capacity to think longer than tomorrow. We have the capacity to go think 20, 30, 40 years down the road and envision what we want our life to be like. We're the only living creature we know of that can do that. Like, why not use it? If you just think of paying your bills, that's like a squirrel thinking of stocking nuts for the winter. That's primitive. Literally. If you're just thinking of survival, that's primitive. That's an animal instinct. But when you think of thriving and excelling and getting ahead in life, and you think years down the road, that's the trait unique to human beings that we're able to do, and we're capable of that. So use it. Like, go out and really live to the maximum. Do something significant. Make an example for people that is possible for anyone. That's what I want to do. Make an example for others, that a kid from a small town with no business background, with no college, with no communication skill, an introvert, an antisocial person can go out and build something substantial in something that literally means you have to go communicate with other people every day. To know that I can do that. People know me from middle school and high school. Colton today is not Colton in senior year of high school. Not at all. If I knew the things I knew today when I was back in high school, it would have been, well, it might have been bothersome actually, because I have to sit in class. But but I mean, the daily life and the communication skill, I would have such. My advice to someone who is going to school right now or is in a place where there's a lot of people, communicate with people. Be nice to everyone. Like, make every single person you possibly can in a daily life your friend. Connect with them in some way. Figure out what they like. Learn from people. Don't belittle anyone. And that's going to come back to you in the future in the good way. However you treat people right now, whatever you do with your network, whatever you do with expanding your friendships and your goals. I know my cousin James relates to this too. We were not the most social people in school or in sports or in what we were doing before. So, and that reflects when you're an adult, you don't have many friends then. Why not? Like, if you're around people, if you're in college, high school, whatever it is, make everybody your friend. However you have to do that. Be nice. Just be nice to everyone. Be your authentic self and just make everyone your friend. Whether they like you or not, it doesn't matter. Make them your friend. Because that's going to come back to you later in life. The more people you know, the better off you can do in life. I'm not even talking about network marketing, but just in life. If you have connections, it matters who you know today. So go after whatever it is that you want. Dream bigger. Allow yourself to think with your full capacity in your mind, right? Grow. Think longer than the weekend. Think longer than tomorrow. Think longer than the end of the month and when your bills are due. They're going to be due either way. Don't worry about them. Like, and just go out and build something. Do something long term. Think about the end in mind. Think about it with the end in mind. That's what I can say. So with that, I mean, is there anything else that you're thinking of that you want to ask, or are we kind of wrapping this up? I'm excited for the rest of my day now. This is a great way to start off the day, right? Do something in the morning that is making you think and expand. Amazing. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, definitely, Colton, definitely. Well, really, the last thing I want to say, and just to really put it out there, I'm 25 years old. Colton is 3 years younger than me, and look what he's done, and that's just his journey. Biggest thing is we can't compare each other's journey. Where they're at, we can learn from them. I can't compare my chapter 14 to Colton's chapter 31. That doesn't make any sense. We're different souls, right? So the last thing I wanted to really ask was, and I definitely do. I don't know if you saw James' comment on the chat, but he said comes in also before 70 years old. Residuals in your 20s turn out to be more money between 20 to 70 than a 401k would be from the 70 year. Right, exactly. So, all the different types of strategy saving. But let's see. What the heck? Oh, yeah. So how can people find you online? Last question.
Oh, awesome. On Facebook, I mean, if you just look up Colt, C-O-L-T, space Bentz, B-E-N-T-Z, I have a picture on there right now. Currently, it has my brand, which is Project Stratosphere, across the top of my headliner. Probably Instagram is going to be a good way that everyone can connect. My name is BE_Colt, C-O-L-T. I believe I just changed it last night, right? I'm going to go make sure.
Yeah, no, I think it is. I think it's B_.
That sounds so. Yep, Cbenz 327. Screenshot this or whatever someone wants. I post on Snapchat a lot, usually when I'm out traveling, but I do post things of stories of just my, daily thoughts that come into my mind. And
yeah. Hello? Hey guys, so it looks like Colton actually had to go, but I definitely appreciate you guys coming on for episode number 8 of Enter Interview at EbonyKeeper. This was, Colton is just joining us. Hey!
My phone went a little bit crazy there. Okay, we're good now. So, anyway, Colt, C-O-L-T, Bentz, B-E-N-T-Z on Facebook, BE_Colt, C-O-L-T on Instagram, Cbenz327 on Snapchat. That's how you can connect with me on social media. Very powerful tool, of course, for promotion and putting the word out there about what we're doing, but subtly. I think it's best to do all that and make curiosity. I think curiosity is the biggest thing. So that's what I would have with that. I appreciate everything with you putting this together and inviting me on here to go through a lot of information. I hope this impacts some people. I know that anyone who goes through this, they'll get something from it. So that's going to be an awesome thing to have. And of course, as soon as this is posted online, we will be sharing it around and letting people see what we went through.
Yeah, most definitely. And for everybody who's watching, like, comment, subscribe as you like. And if you love it, hey, get involved with Colton, get involved with me. How do you say it? Not get involved. Reach out. There we go. Reach out if you want to find out more information, whatever the case may be. And yeah, Colton, enjoy the rest of your day. This was amazing.
Thank you. Have a great one.
You too, man. Later.